Do you think rich kids traveling to Africa actually help? The truth is, it's a massive multi-billion-dollar scam. Voluntourism is an industry that sells wealthy people direct access to struggling communities for a feel-good experience. These teens pay thousands of dollars for charity trips, mostly to get good pictures for their college applications. Kids who have never worked a day in their lives suddenly claim they are building schools in impoverished countries. One teenager paid $3,000 for a 3-week trip just to play in an orphanage and go on safari. Almost none of that massive fee actually reaches the orphanage. Western travel agencies keep the majority of the profits. You are sold the idea of helping a community, but you are really buying an expensive opportunity to help yourself. When local children see the volunteer vans arriving, they quickly rub dirt on their faces to look more pathetic. The children know that looking incredibly dirty and helpless is exactly what the wealthy volunteers want for their Instagram photos. This isn't true charity. It is a highly profitable, twisted transaction where extreme poverty is packaged and sold as tourism. But the scam gets much darker. Next time, I'll show you the shocking truth about what they built. Think these rich teenagers are building schools in Africa? The truth is, they are actually making things much worse. They confidently believed they could finish the entire project themselves, completely ignoring one massive, dangerous reality. I don't get it. This stuff isn't doing anything. This is way harder than it looks. The arrogant volunteers even complained that the local skilled workmen were lazy because they were always showing up late. But one early morning, a volunteer woke up, walked to the construction site, and discovered a deeply humiliating secret. They would let the fresh cement set before morning, so the clueless volunteers would arrive completely none the wiser. What's a skill you'd like to develop?
I saw a bulldozer knock it over, but then they built it again so fast.
This never happened, understand?
But, Miss Johnson...
Not a word. Because exposing the truth would completely ruin the fake hero experience these rich kids paid thousands of dollars for. But fake construction is nothing compared to how they hide donations. Think the orphanage directors use your generous donations for the kids? The reality is a sickening manipulation. They intentionally keep the children looking miserable. If volunteers see kids playing happily, they stop bringing toys. If the wealthy tourists see these vulnerable children sleeping on comfortable beds, they will immediately stop donating money. They were forced to eat luxurious breakfasts, completely separate. They used the orphanage children for their own profit.
Follow the money.
Every thread leads back to them. They ate fresh fruit, eggs, and butter, completely kept in the dark about what the orphans actually ate. The rich feasted. The children ate nothing but beans. I need to find the connection, find the proof. But if the children ever wanted to eat a decent, nutritious meal, there was a sickening hidden price. I see them. The pattern is clear. This isn't charity. It's exploitation.
Look at them.
Let's get a selfie.
They're so hungry.
Smile.
Smile.
Say cheese. But keeping them hungry is just the beginning. Next time, I'll expose the medical neglect. But keeping them hungry is just the beginning. Next time, I'll expose the medical neglect. The corruption runs deep here. These people need to be held accountable for what they did. And these medical reports show severe, untreated tropical diseases spreading rapidly among the young children. Long-term volunteers discovered that when desperate children contracted deadly malaria, they were deliberately left to suffer alone.
It's a tragedy that must be brought to light.
There was plenty of donated money specifically available to pay for their immediate, life-saving medical care. They simply refused to spend the cash on the medicine. This bank statement proves it. They let them die. But physical neglect isn't the only danger. Wealthy volunteers often force their Western ideals onto the locals.
I told her she had to break free. It's about being true to yourself. Don't let their old ways hold you back. Just live your life openly, you know?
Look at this. Extreme violence. They're here. The volunteer was so blindly focused on her own moral compass, she completely ignored the terrifying reality.
The terror of that night will never leave me.
Her terrible, ignorant advice could have literally gotten that young local woman brutally killed in her village. But the absolute darkest secret is who these children actually are. Think you are helping poor orphans in foreign countries? The absolute darkest secret will break your heart. The most terrifying reality of the voluntourism industry is that the vast majority of these children aren't orphans. A whistleblower revealed a shocking, sickening statistic. 80% of children in these facilities actually have living parents. These innocent kids are not orphans at all. They were deliberately taken from their real, living families. Desperate, impoverished parents are intentionally tricked into giving up their children, falsely promised a world-class Western education. Once inside the fake orphanage, the children's legal identities, birth certificates, and IDs are completely erased forever. The corrupt directors destroy their legal documents, ensuring no one knows who they are or where they belong. The connection. It was right here all along. The constant flow of rich volunteers creates a massive, highly profitable demand to essentially manufacture more fake orphans. This twisted billion-dollar industry literally rips families apart just to sell a fake hero experience to naive teenagers. But the total anonymity of these stolen children attracts the absolute worst kind of monsters. Think unqualified teenagers are the only ones volunteering? The lack of background checks attracts the ultimate evil. The absolute darkest reality of voluntourism is the undeniable connection between fake orphanages and global child trafficking. Predators from America, Britain, and Australia intentionally travel across the world disguised as generous, caring charity volunteers. Because this billion-dollar industry is completely unregulated, literally anyone can pay to gain direct access to vulnerable children. Travel agencies and corrupt directors never run background checks as long as the massive trip fees are paid.
And the orphanage receives its donation.
Volunteer arrested for abuse. Countless international arrests prove that monsters exploit these charity programs to physically and sexually abuse undocumented children. Remember how the directors completely erased the children's legal identities and destroyed their birth certificates last episode? That forced anonymity makes it terrifyingly easy for predators to abuse kids who officially do not even exist.
Help me!
He buries his face in his hands, looking completely shattered by the horrifying truth he uncovered. Look at this.
It's coming together.
Selfie time. The good intentions of wealthy tourists are literally funding a global network of unimaginable exploitation and silent abuse. This industry is completely unregulated, and it exploited the pandemic in a sickening way.